Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Cause I Can Sis, aka Kels.
And I am Yes, Let's Speak on It, also known as Trail.
Welcome to Random on 10 because we randomly talk about things. And randomly, right now, we're going to be talking about Love After Lockup. We're in season 5 and we're talking about episode 3, which is episode 33, according to their records. So let's get into it. What are we thinking overall about what we're seeing so far?
Um, Shontae and True. I have a lot to say about that. So when we get into it, we're gonna talk about that.
And then, the title of this episode is First Times and Second Chances. So, who do we start with? Look, I had to write her name down, and you know how you have the dictionary, the word, and then the enunciation of it. So, I did that because we've been saying her name wrong the whole time. So,
Yeah, I heard her dad say it, and I wrote down the way he said it too. I was like, but
too.
even Troy says it differently.
Yes. Okay. So, because I was like, wait a minute. So it's
Zarua.
Zeruiah.
Yeah,
Ruya.
yeah,
Oh Lord, I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Zaruya.
So
Something like okay. So I know Dad said it, and I tried to write down phonetically.
Zeruiah. Zeruiah. I think that's it. Zeruiah. I hope it is. I
I
apologize
apologize.
profusely.
Yes, because I'm butchering
Um,
her name.
but we start the episode with these two, her and Troy. They're waiting outside, looking for what's going on because he was supposed to get picked up by them. And then they were told after they got there that no, the POs were going to get him. The POs go and pick him up and then they speed off. They're behind the POs and the mom and the dad are behind them. So at this point, they in a three-car chase going down the highway. Trying to figure out what's going on with this man. And then when they get there, they like 0.2 seconds from about to have a protest outside this facility because they're trying to figure out what's going on. And so they're in the midst of that. And then next thing I know, mama starts screaming. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? The dad starts preaching and saying a word. And then she turns around, and of course, he's now coming out. So, what do we
Hmm.
think about that?
So dramatic. But they should have had better communication with him, with her, and everything because I'm quite sure they knew, and I'm quite sure he had to tell them exactly where he was going. And if the PO knew that he needed an ankle bracelet, they should have communicated, hey, we're going to pick him up ourselves. We're going to bring him over here. You pick him up from over here. You know what I'm saying? From this
Yeah.
office. So the communication there was terrible on that part, but I think it was a little over dramatic. I was like, okay, they dressed all spiffy and everything, just to be like, okay,
Right,
we're
to pick
leaving.
him up. I to pick him up, and I'm like, it didn't to me, and maybe I missed it, and maybe I need to go back and watch it again, but I feel like he didn't even acknowledge them fully when he came out. He was just like, "Okay, hey, girl," and it went to his woman, and they're just, like, standing there doing the most, and so I'm like, "Well, y'all are really excited to see him," which was good to see, but it was just that was the most excited I think I've seen her mom
Hmm. I
thus
wonder
far.
what are the terms of his ankle bracelet. Like, do they have him on like house arrest, or is it just he can go out, get a job and everything, but he has to be back in the house by a certain time? I'm quite sure that's pretty much that's probably what it is. But to have an ankle bracelet for 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's a lot. He said, "What they got? How long you gotta?" What he said? How long you gonna be on paper? Is what he said. I said,
Hmm.
"Okay, Dad, knowing the terms, the terminologies, and things like that. I see you, sir. I see you."
2.5 years, man. I was like, wow, to have something around your ankle like that. So what did you think about when they got back to the room?
Oh, hold on. Right before that, though, what about the dad saying, "Okay, so you out, we out, y'all together now. She's yours, you're his. Bye," and left. I
Yes,
was
that's what
surprised. I was surprised a little bit. 'Cause I was like, wait a minute, but he kind of told them like, "Okay, thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night."
Mhm,
And then he kind of gave them the exit, but they agreed like, "Yeah, no, absolutely, we out. Now
mhm.
this y'all thing." And I thought that was
That's
interesting. I
that's what
hope
I
that's
was
what they stay with, but we'll see. But
because I was definitely like, yeah, that was like y'all really wasn't needed there because I said it got dressed all spiffy and then it was like, all right, bye. Like, okay, okay, I see what you're doing. And I understand that they were like, hey, maybe they want some alone time or whatever.
I mean,
But
it is the husband and the wife. They are married at this point. So
what, 3 years? And this is their first time out in the free world for real? Yeah. I wonder if they do what conjugal visits at the, let me stop.
no, no,
Is that still a thing?
they didn't take it. So they didn't take the opportunity if it is. I
That's
wonder if
true.
you have to be married prior to though before they give you
Mhm.
that, not while in.
Yeah.
Because I think all of them would be getting married if that was the case.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. Anybody out there know those answers? Please feel free to drop those comments in and let us know because I am not familiar with that process.
And not at all. Okay, so do you want to go to, or are we gonna just do this whole couple and
Yeah,
talk
we can do
about?
this whole couple. Get into
Okay,
the hotel. I mean, not the hotel. Sorry. Was it a hotel?
I think it was
Was
a
it an
hotel room.
apartment?
It was some kind of room. I think it was a hotel room because I
Okay, so
remember
what?
thinking like, "Ew, you gonna have him bathe in that hotel tub?" That's just me. I'm just I was like,
I
no.
mean, in her head though, she like what was worse than this? You like you
Yeah,
just a
that's
step
true.
up at the end of the day.
It's true.
She
But
had
three
it all
hundred
decorated,
dollars on date, three
decorated and
hundred.
everything on one color. Yes, ma'am.
$300. Did you
On
hear her
one
when she
color.
said that? I said
But it's inflation. Cause
$300.
I feel like back in the
Girl,
day we throw a party, and we might be telling our age, but I mean you get all that stuff from the dollar store, maybe $50.
girl, he would have got a
100 if
balloon.
you doing the most.
He would have got what what True guys possibly not even that. You
I
out.
mean,
Get here. Let's see what this is about. Like really.
she made it nice for him, though.
She
And
did.
she said, I could appreciate her when she did say, like, people may say that I'm doing too much, but I feel like some people ain't doing enough. And just to make him feel special and appreciated, it's been a while. It's been a long, 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 long time. So she wanted to make that man feel special. I get it. What I thought was hilarious because they're gonna be the couple for me. This is the the
The
pop.
Yanni Steen girl.
My
I
man's
said,
knew what it
what?
was, having not been out all this time. He already knew this was some BS.
And he was just like, first of all, he was looking like, what? He was confused. He even was like, this is awkward as heck. I was like, yeah, that is awkward. He was like, I'm not even supposed to be on it. This ain't even shaped like.
Nowhere near. This don't even feel right. His instincts were spot on. They was like, no, this ain't it. This is not it. She said, I'm gonna need you to get all that gel off. We gonna
Right,
pre-steam it and then get it ready, and then we gonna put it in the tub and soak it. Like
girl.
she was not playing no games. But how funny was it where they doing all that and her main focus is I'm just trying to see what he packing.
That's all she was thinking about.
Because I mean, and if it is little, I guess we'll find out on the next episode because we didn't get to hear about that. But I mean, if it is little, then what, ma'am? You're married.
Girl,
This
the
is the life
crown.
that you chose. What are we talking about? Does it at this point? Does it matter?
And she already crowned him her king anyway, because the
Okay.
crown, while he was sitting in the tub, I
Okay.
was just like, okay,
That little crown. She
you
done went and got that crown again. I know he was like, if she'll get this crown off my head, well, I'm sitting in this small behind tub trying to fit in, feeling
right
weird after she done got me on that weird pot.
with the ankle bracelet hanging out, girl. I
And
was
she
just,
said,
I
we're
was,
gonna do it, but she didn't do it. Like, I was like, wait a minute, so you just gonna make him do it? Like, we're not doing this together?
she was like, I
Girl,
wasn't in jail.
girl. She said, we gonna get on here and we gonna do
Hmm.
no. So that was funny to me. I said, this is comedy gold right here. But I think that was
That was
it. I
pretty
guess
much
we can
with
come
them.
back to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shanta and True. So as we know, all he was ready to do was bang it out, right?
Hmm.
And finally gets to the point where they bang it out. And then they stick with this couple until the next day, 8 a.m. in the morning. Sis is woke up and he is MIA. And she like, what? And then I'm like, where did he go? What is he doing? Pan over to him and he chilling with his sister.
Hmm.
Like, how early did you get up and leave that she didn't even know that you had left?
And how quiet is he? Because
That part.
move me in my bed. I'm like, what? Where you going? What's going on? Like,
He said he light on his feet. Don't let the
girl.
smooth taste fool you.
So with True, I know he is so happy to be out. I think their biggest problem is gonna be Shontae trying to control him. And I just feel like she put it in a way like, I want you to stay out of trouble. I still feel
Yeah.
like she's a bit overbearing and controlling. And I agree with his sister, because his sister was like, you've been locked up for 13 years. You should have been by yourself, because now
Mhm.
you're out, and that's all he keeps talking about. I ain't gotta tell you what I'm going. I ain't gotta tell you what I'm doing. I'm free. I'm free,
Yeah. I think it's a
baby.
combination
Mm,
of him having a 17-year-old mindset because that's quite frankly where when he went in. And
like,
I feel like he's still a little bit stuck there. And yes, he's been locked up, he's been restricted, he's been told when to eat, when to sleep, when to go to the bathroom, when to clean yourself, and who you can talk to, who you can't talk to, and confined. And so, yeah, to be out and about is something that he really wants to do. At the same time, she like, let's take care of business first.
mhm,
And he's like, but I'm just trying to chew this bubble gum real quick. And
mhm,
and I think he would better receive it if she wasn't like he said, like his main thing with her is the attitude. Like
mhm,
he probably equate her to a CO,
mhm,
corrections officer. Like while he was locked up, that's probably exactly how they spoke to them. And he said it to his sister, like she always got an attitude. She on her phone. She don't want to do anything,
mhm,
and she stay in the house. And I like to go out and go out and about. And their communication, which she mentions towards the end, is definitely something that they had to work on. And again, I go back to the question: what were y'all talking about on the phone? That now it seems like y'all cannot talk to one another.
mhm.
That's
They
crazy.
I don't know what it is, because she does seems like really annoyed with True. I'm like, what have he done? And like, yeah, I get it. Don't get up in the middle of the night, morning, or whatever, and leave and don't say anything. That's we don't do that. I understand that you're grown. You can do what you want to do, but keep me informed. We're in a relationship, because
Yeah,
if
to
she
dip
has to get
out,
up and go right, and how about when he was trying to make her let him drive, and she was like, no, we're doing this legally.
it was
It's like,
for me the fact that this man dipped out, didn't say nothing, didn't be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be back. I'm about to go ride out with my sister." Then she's calling him. He pushing her to forward to
mhm,
voicemail, not even picking up. She just slept with this man. So that means at this point, she was her most vulnerable at the time. So, as a woman, period, like to give yourself to somebody and then the next day, like literally they're gone. She probably was like, oh, this man probably done bounced on me. He like all kinds of things. Left to our own devices, we go all the way to left field and think the worst. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, you led her down that road, and I understand maybe you needed a break or whatever, but he could have at least texted her back like, "Hey, I'm with my sister. We eating. I can't talk right now. I'll call you back," or something like left her a
Mm-hmm.
note, something, and instead of putting it on a guise of I don't gotta tell nobody what I'm doing because I'm free now. That
Mm-hmm.
mindset is the single mindset. It's not a relationship mindset, and it's not an
Exactly.
adult man mindset either. And
Exactly.
when she said that quote, "I'm dealing with an idiot," that spoke everything. Because she very much talks to him like that's the way that she feels. And it comes across as like you really don't have any patience for him. That's why I said what I said. Like, I don't know what she did in her past, but she just really felt like she just seems like she just over him already.
But she chose him. So you know you've
Exactly.
been dealing with an idiot this whole time. That you chose that. And but one thing I'd have to give true credit for is when him and his sister did talk about him being in a relationship with Shontae, he did defend their relationship and them being engaged. So I have to give him credit for that. That is one thing I have to give him credit for.
I need somebody to tell him though, as an engaged man who dipped out on your fiance while she was asleep in the middle of the night after having slept with her, and you gonna come back in the house like everything is cool, fine, and hunky dory. Please don't sit in my face and eat no food and not offer
And
me
then
any or
and
bring me
then bring
anything.
her nothing. I
She been there
said,
all day. I guess that's his problem. He said, "Yeah, you don't want to go nowhere. You could have went and got you some food."
and that's a little immature and selfish because again, if this is your fiance, y'all in a relationship, you living with her, don't walk in my house without something for me to eat as well. I mean,
Right,
even call me because sometimes I don't even want anything. No, I'm good. I'm good. But it's the thought. And like you said, instead of just pushing her off to voicemail, he could have been like, hey, I'm hanging out with my fam right now. My sister's right here. We're going shopping and doing whatever. That would have been good enough. That way she would have
right,
known that he's out with his family. And I'm quite sure in the back of her head, she's still like, I hope he's not out. Because again, she's really, I say overbearing, but it could be more protective because she don't want him to go back to prison. So I can understand, you just got out. I don't need you out here getting in trouble because you
right.
literally just got out. So I get it.
Exactly. So that was crazy to me. And at first I thought, well, maybe he bought the food for her, and because she was mad, she didn't eat it. But then when they would get ready to go out, and she said, "You didn't even bring me no food," I said, "Oh wow, he really didn't bring her any food." After he
Selfish.
just wasn't he just eating though? He just went out to eat, and then he bought Wendy's.
Selfish. Boy.
Ah, man. Then Julian and Christine. I like Julian. I'm sorry, I do. It's so their relationship is so weird though.
It is. It is.
It's very awkward to watch.
And I like Julian. I think he's a really nice guy. I like Christine. I think Christine is funny. And it was crazy because,
Yes.
you're sitting there and you're like, she's telling her story or whatever. Then she gets to Julian. And what she said about
Mhm.
her, I was like, oh my gosh, you want everyone to know that? Like, babe,
Ugh,
keep some of that to yourself for you and
no, she gonna
Julian.
tell everything. Okay, it's the purring for me. I'm like, if she don't stop this purring, it's so weird, and it's just.
But, right.
It
But
remind
it's
me of Eartha Kitt. Talking about
after
my
the
goodness.
Right. Oh my gosh, I love that movie. But it was like after the initial meetup, like it like they became more comfortable because on the last episode when they first met and then kissed and all, you was just like, oh, they look awkward. And then you
Yeah.
got to see them get more comfortable and more relaxed around each other, and they both seem to be very happy and excited to see each other. And
Yes,
from
that
what
man
I could
loves
tell,
her.
right, he couldn't keep his hands off of her. So,
Mhm.
and he was
And he
and how
kept
he
her
put everybody
phone
out,
on
right,
while she
and how
was
he
locked away. Okay.
and she was like, 40,000. I was like, girl, that man, he really wants you. He got all your stuff in his house. He took care of your cats and all of that stuff. And
Yeah.
I think they're fun. I did like how he put everybody out. He was like, "You got to go now. Get out."
Yes, yes. I like too that we get to learn a little bit more about Christine as well.
Mhm.
And it's gonna be very tough, it seems like and I'm glad she has that support with her kids, like the mom
Mhm.
taking the kid from her, her oldest, and then
Mhm.
the twins that she has. We learned that she has twins and they're with the ex. And
Mhm.
she's gonna try and fight to get them back, and hopefully it all works out. But it was a little hard to hear, I think, because she said that she went to her parents for help.
Yeah, she went to her mom for
And
help because she
yeah,
had the drug issue, and so she went to her mom for help, and her mom went to CPS and pretty much got custody of her oldest child. And I'm just like, if she's reaching out to you for help, that don't mean you go and take her babe away from her. You don't take the
yeah.
baby away. If my kid or whatever, they're going through something like that, I'm gonna get the kid. I'm not gonna try to take your kid, but you're going to rehab. You're getting yourself together because I want you to reunite with your child. That it's like a success story. Like, Mom, I'm not doing well. Can you watch? Can you get my kid? I'm not doing. I'm on these drugs. It's like she was crying out for help, but instead of like helping her, she kind of hurt her more. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was I didn't like that. I was like, wow, she has been through a lot. She has been
Yeah,
through a lot. But
and
to
he did
keep.
for it.
Mhm. But to keep kind of, because she still seems a little, she still seems happy, and she's happy where she is, and she's happy about Julian. So I do like that. I really do like that.
Yeah. And then Kim and Joey.
Girl.
I mean, okay, so she's at the place. It's a nice little cabin set up. They're gonna have a
Mhm.
little alone time before they go back home. And one thing she mentioned, which I think a lot of people can relate to, is like after not seeing somebody for so long, she's feeling a little self conscious because she's like, when he went in, I was a lot smaller. I've gained this weight. I don't know what he's gonna think about me when he comes out. I hope he still likes me and I'm attractive and everything. So that piled on with a lot of other stuff is definitely very stressful, and I can understand that aspect of what she might be dealing with. What do you think?
Well, my thing is, like, how much weight did you really gain? Y'all just got engaged 6 months ago while he was in jail. So I'm like, babe, how much
I
weight did
wasn't
you?
gonna mention the picture that they showed, and I was, and I said to myself, but she looked the same size in the picture that he down on his knee. But I wasn't gonna say, maybe it was like a quick visit, or maybe I don't, I don't
He
know.
he seen her.
With the clothes on, I guess maybe
I
she's
guess
saying with the
it was
clothes off,
close
it's
on.
a different situation. You can pack some things in when you got clothes covering up.
Girl, you gonna take what come out these clothes.
You got me now. You better like what you see.
Right. And this is the thing with Kim. She's worried about Joey. She's worried he will go back to the street life. Well, don't go back there. That's what I keep saying. You can't take him around the same environment and expect him to be on the straight and narrow. How long? He
I
said he was on
mean,
opioids for like 20 years or something.
25. He said
25.
a decade and a
Wow.
half,
Good night.
two
So
decades and a half, I think he said.
So yeah, you got to get them out that environment because especially if the people aren't doing any better themselves, they're gonna do nothing but pull him right back into it, right back into
Well,
it.
anything he do, she gonna know because she got air tags. She got
Everything.
the tracking app on his phone and then on her phone, so he don't even know what's on his phone. And she is ready for him to go anywhere. If that man go around the corner of the house, she gonna know
She gonna know
exactly
exactly.
where he is at. So that's gonna be interesting if he figures it out.
Yeah, yeah. It was sweet that to call to see him talk to his mom, and she was like, "Y'all get on back home." I was like, "That's sweet." When he faced
Hmm.
it, and I was like, "Has technology changed that much in 6 years?" He was like, "You didn't used to FaceTime like this." I was like, "We didn't." Girl, I don't know.
I
I just
know
know.
it's all a blur with how quick a year goes by. I mean, we already
Mhm.
about to be in September, so yeah.
Right.
Definitely. And one thing I did peep, and side note, because me, I'm looking at everything else, but what I'm supposed to be looking at is the alarm. She on her screen when they showed the alarms. She just like me, got like 15 alarms because I need the pre-warning alarm. I need the it's time to get up alarm. I need the okay, this is the last time I'm gonna tell you to get up alarm. I need the you're gonna be a little late if you still go to this alarm. And then I'm like, okay, that's it alarm. So I
Oh,
can relate. She had about 4, 5, 15 of them things, and
girl.
that's just me too.
Oh my god. Okay. And now we
Okay,
have
also, what'd you think? Sleeping in the truck. I'm sorry, camping. Because I was confused at what
because I
camping
was
meant.
too.
I thought
Because
they
I was
going
like
outside.
camping,
Sleeping in the
but
truck. That's camping.
sleeping in the truck, and Hope is worried that his mom had got to him, like he's sleeping in the cell or whatever. I was like, I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that's
so.
what it
He said
is.
it's hot as hell. He said now it
Yeah,
looked good when I first got in here, but
it's
okay,
hot.
it's hot. Like, why is we
Hmm.
sleeping in this? Why? First of all, when she said, "Okay, well, I'm gonna go park the truck and then we gonna go pick up the car and go to the place," I didn't understand the why they just didn't do that in the first place. Like, I feel like that should have been the first goal, and then let's go into the truck. Like, I
Hmm.
don't understand why you was riding around in the truck trying to sleep in it. I'm like, was she dropping a load off? Like, was she actually working? Because it was just real quick. Okay, well, let me go park the truck. Oh, my car's right here. Let's get in the car. Oh, I got the place all set up for you. I got you a sewing kit and everything like that, a sewing machine, which I thought was pretty cool because
Hmm.
it really showed him that she one listens to that she really cares and she's trying to take care of him and everything
Hmm.
like that. So, and the place was like really nice. So I
It
didn't understand.
was. And she had the same issue that Kim had. It's just like, well, I done gained weight since we, girl, if that man love you, regardless, you 300, 400 pounds, and you 90 pounds, he's still gonna love you.
That's the first thing that man said. He said she a thickums, and I love her
Hmm.
body. I love the way she looked, and maybe you need to express that to her more. But ma'am,
Hmm.
that's called getting older. That's
Yes.
called hormones, and that's called metabolism slowdown.
And
So
life. Because when life
yes,
started lifing, yes, girl, when he said he was exhausted. It was
the next day, okay, I said, now wait a minute now. What what happened there?
because I want
That
to
man
know,
said,
like,
I'm tired.
I'm exhausted. They're like, oh, he's like, I knew but I didn't know I was gonna be like, I was like, okay then. Hope, hope. She wasn't playing with him. But let's talk about the tattoos. She
OMG.
sent this man $300 to get a
I thought you couldn't
tattoo.
get tattoos in jail. I thought it wasn't like, I mean, they come out with a lot. I thought that was not
Girl,
policy, maybe, but I mean, like they setting it up like it's a regular, we going to the shop visit. I'm gonna get this man $300. He said, I
uh,
got a rose. She said, but what's that?
not when she got man tatted on her behind. And you talking about you got a rose? You told this girl you was gonna get a portrait picture of her or something like that, and you come back
I
talking about I got a rose and it symbolizes life, baby. What?
She said, "Oh, wait a minute now. Now what?" I mean, I feel like if he wanted to get himself I applaud him for speaking the truth. He just like, I don't know, yeah, I just didn't do it. But I mean, he could have been like, you know what? So what had happened was the person that was gonna have do it, I didn't like their skills. I didn't trust them to do it the right way, and it was gonna look crazy. And I wanted to wait till I can get it professionally done right. However, that man did take that $300.
He did.
What did you do with the $300? Because that rose should not have been no $300
Nope.
unless they have inflation in jail, I guess, maybe.
And did you hear when she said that she spent about $20,000 to $40,000 on him since he's been in jail? I said that's a big gap. 20 to 40,000. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I don't usually say this, but she need to listen to her friends because her friends were telling her, girl, stop spending all this money on her. She was like, and I'm a truck driver. We don't make that kind of, I understand that. So why are you sacrificing yourself out here to send this man 20 to 40? You spend over 20 to $40,000. Baby girl, I'm not finna struggle while my man locked up. We know he getting 3 hots a day. Like, no.
Yeah. Yep.
He good. You need what, $100 on your commissary? I can send you that. But I'm not.
Right. Oh,
And you
what
better
about
not.
this girl? Go ahead, 'cause
I was about to
you
say
about
you
to say the
better
same
not
thing.
ask for $100 every time, because you better make that commissary last a month. You ain't getting a lot of money out of me. I'm sorry.
I'd have been like, send me. Well, maybe they couldn't. I was like, maybe they couldn't see videos or pictures because I'd have been like, I need a proof when it's done.
Yeah.
Where what it look like? Let me
And
see.
you would have thought he would have sent her a picture of it or something. And that would have been my first thought. Like, oh man, I got this tattoo of her. Let me send her this picture. I wonder, did she send a picture of her man tattoo?
I don't know. I bet you she probably was asking and he changed the topic.
Mm,
Then when they slept together, she probably was looking for it and couldn't find it. And that's when she was
hmm.
like in the morning. So by the way, uh, because I'm not gonna stop in the middle of this and ask you, but by the way, now that I'm clear, where's that tattoo at?
Right. You can get that triangle in the middle of your forehead looking crazy. You mean
Man,
to tell me the girl sent you the money for the project? You told her that you was gonna get it. This
I
ain't
think he
something
got
she
3 or 4
asked.
sets with that
Sure is.
$300. That's what I think.
I think so too. Plus the roles. And I would have even been like, well, the roles reminded me of you, your hope. And this rose is giving me hope. Something like that. And I'm
You
like,
got
oh,
all
it
this.
means
Got to think
girl.
light on your feet. Got to be quick with it. You got to be quicker than that.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I did like the fact that when she was kind of discussing with him about feeling a little guilty about making things harder than what they needed to be because of her cheating. And he
Hmm.
came right back and he was like, "But you good because I did the same thing and it ain't about that." And he was like,
Hmm.
"So let's just not even focus on that." And I was
Hmm.
like, "Okay, I like that. I wish that's the conversation that he would have with his mom. I mean, he may that's coming up. But that conversation was also interesting. Like you now put them in this predicament where he was kind of scared to tell her that the mother was coming to get him, and then she's like, "For what?" And I'm like, "Well, she's not gonna be with him. So I mean, if she is here, it's to be expected that he's gonna want to spend some time with her."
Right. And that's why I was confused about that too. I was like, you don't want him to go spend a little time with his mom? But I think she did say she was scared that she was gonna convince him to go back to Vegas with her.
Yeah, after he didn't want to camp anymore.
Hmm.
Because he was
So
okay with camping until the mom said, "So you gonna sleep in the truck?" But he
I,
had
I
just
was
been fresh out. I feel like he didn't understand fully what that meant. And how
right.
could he? I can't. I'm not locked up. I can't imagine what it's like to sleep in the truck. But when she said it, I was like, in the truck.
And I guess because she's used to it, because they have to take especially if she's over road and not local. She has to take breaks, and they don't get hotel rooms. They just go back there and sleep in their bed. Um, my cousin, she's a truck driver, and I think she had air in hers, so I'm not sure what they got going on over there.
Yeah, that's what
But
I said. I was like, she just turning it off. Maybe because gas is expensive.
it is.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But that was crazy. Then we got Letitia. We finally get to see her again.
Hmm.
She's at the house and she's getting ready for Keith's family to come over so she can give them the great news that she told the people that work for her first. So they get ready. She got the pizza going, and Keith calls her right before they get there. And so she's telling them, they about to come over, and she's there with that's his aunt, right?
Yes, that's his aunt.
I love their relationship. I love that they like friends and for real
Hmm.
cool. I hope that stays when he comes out because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, if something go down with the family, whose side will she take? This will be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Um, but we find out that she loves the family. They all get along very well, except for shock and awe and surprise. One of the sisters, because one of the sisters is there, and she seemed cool, but something's going on with this other sister, and I can't imagine what was going on. Even I was like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, and how is that going to play out?
I want to meet the sister. I was hoping the sister came through because she was like, oh, she didn't come because everyone, like you said, everyone else seemed really nice. I looked at the step sister and the dad. I was like, oh, you're the stepsister, not the wife. Okay, but
Hmm.
anyway, I'm just saying she just
Hmm.
looked a little older. But
Oh, the stepmom, you mean?
that was his stepmom. Girl, I thought it was the sister because I was like, she looks a little.
The older lady was his stepmom, and then
Okay.
the other girl was his sister, and then
Yeah, I
that was
seen
his
the
dad.
little, yeah, the younger girl.
Yeah,
His
no.
dad looks really
Lord have mercy, that would have been
good.
terrible. No, that was the stepmama.
Cause girl, I was looking
I
like
didn't.
this
I That was a mix.
stepsister.
Yeah, that
um,
dynamic is interesting.
right,
But dad was a cool player too. You can tell dad know what's what because as soon as he came in, he's like, "Yeah, because you want to speak a man." I said, "Oh, dad know the code real quick."
right.
He told him real quick, "Don't say nothing on here."
With his old school cool Modi haircut. Okay, I was
He
just
had that
like,
part, didn't he?
yes, he did.
That part for days. I said, "Okay, dad, I see you. I see you."
Right.
Okay.
I was like, okay, I see you. That looks kind of good there. Okay, he looks all nice and young, but Keith is a nice looking guy too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and
Him,
I
his
know
sister, and the dad all look alike.
they do. There's a nice looking family, but I think she kept talking about his sister, the sister that didn't show up. Letitia was calling her a hater. I wonder if it's because Letitia was like, "Cause I spent the 15,000 on my ring out of his account." I was like, "Oh gosh!" But if he told you to
I
do
want to
it,
see. I need to see the conversation when he get out that he had with his sister, and she can fully explain to us what it is. Is it because she want to take over everything? I don't. I Is she a lot? Maybe I don't
mm,
know. But her eyes was big, and she was just like, "How do you look? You're not even showing up for your brother." And I'm like, "Oof."
right, girl.
And
But
the mom was uncomfortable. The
yes, you could
stepmom, when
tell.
she
You could
started
tell.
talking about the sister or whatever, she was like, "Yes, this just keep it positive." And I was like, "Okay, is she talking to her or is she talking about what the sister's doing?"
Mm, maybe
What
she's
you think about
talking to
the
her.
crown?
She's talking to
Um,
her, telling her not to say anything. Don't let's keep it positive. We're not gonna bring anything negative up. Like, I agree. If she's not there, let's leave her where she is. And
right.
once you
Not
when you see her, you confront her at that point, at that time. But with this, you did this to give the family the good news about Keith's early release. So let's not focus on the negative. We're keeping it positive tonight. So I agree with the mom.
yeah,
But girl,
absolutely.
that spa, her body spa. I said, do we really need to see all of this, girl? Although I do
She,
want body facial. They did that.
she gonna be interesting. And the crown at the
Girl,
table,
yes. I
or else
like
he's bringing
Letitia.
something out for real.
I, I I like her. I want to see her and Keith actually together instead of just on the phone. I want to see them together. I want to. So far, my couples are. I can't say her name. Zeruiah. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And Troy. It seems interesting. I really like Julian and Christine. Oh, I really like that. I'm not. I guess because Julian is such a nice guy, and she seems so genuinely happy with him. And like, when you start hearing like her background, you just kind of root
Mhm.
for her. Like, man, I hope this works. You know what I'm saying? Because she
Yeah,
seems genuinely happy. He seems genuinely happy with her. I want them to go to work. Girl, I'm not seeing it for Hope and Arthur. I'm not.
no, no,
And
not going to the PO like you said. He comes in, let me get the door for you. And then he said, matter of fact, let me get the keys for you. Matter of fact, let me just drive one block for you. She like, it's a no. We're not gonna go to see your PO doing something illegal. And he just
Right.
could not understand this whole concept. Sir, I guess he's never seen, and probably not because he's been locked up, but previous seasons, one guy actually drove his smart self to the PO and ended up getting arrested right then and there because he was driving and the PO knew he did not have a license. And they took him right in right there. He was also late because he was with the other girl instead of with his girl. He
Hold
was
up.
out with
Mm,
somebody
mm,
else
mm,
and that girl had to drop him off. And
mm.
so, yeah. So the girl found out that he was with the other girl because then they had to tell the mama that he got rearrested.
That's crazy. I
So
didn't see
it's a
that.
real thing. You not being legal, trying to drive to go see the
That
PO
makes
makes
no
no sense.
sense. None at all. Um, those are I said the couples. Kim and Joey. I'm still on the fence about them. But I did like that his mom kept his license renewed. I
I
was like,
like
that is
his
sweet.
mama.
That
I
was
love
so
his
sweet.
mama. They're so sweet and everything. And that
Mhm.
man, like, I feel like he really do love her too. And they got history.
Mhm.
So, because he just kept saying, I love you. Like, I love her. I love her. I love you. Love you. Love. Like the first thing he said was like, love you. And so I was like, girl, don't be worried about what you look like. That man loves
Mhm.
you. Down to your,
Well,
as we say, your dirty draws. Okay.
but we just need to keep him on the straight, keep him clean. And I feel like if she can keep Joey clean, I think they would. That's why I'm on the fence. Like I think they would do really well together. Because of course it's all their history. They've been knowing each other since childhood. You know, it's a lot of history
Hmm.
there. Um, but I'm on the fence about them. But I just don't see it for Hope and Arthur and Shontae and True. But I could be, it's just my opinion.
Now I don't see
Season
it for
just getting
Shantae and
started.
True. I don't
Just
see
getting
it for
started.
Shontae and Truth. They can't sit down and actually have a real conversation on a level like they're on two different levels. Like she said, you can't take care of yourself. You're not making no decisions. How can you take care of me? How can you take care of kids? Have a family?
Hmm.
Like, how can we even be together? And I'm like, again, what were y'all talking about the whole time this man was locked up? Because I am not understanding how this is shock and awe unless that man talked a real good game and made you think that he was on a level that he wasn't. Like, was somebody else speaking for him? Because I can't I don't understand
Hmm.
how we're surprised.
Yeah, it's those two. Yeah,
She had to get out and
it's,
walk. Take these mics off, please.
girl, because I was just, and she's telling the truth. She's telling the truth, but she needs to be honest with him too. Did she ever tell? I don't remember her ever saying that. Hold on, let me get it together. I don't remember her ever mentioning that she doesn't have a job right now.
She still hasn't told him.
See,
She
and
still hasn't told him that. But she want
eh,
to, punish him like a child and say, if you, I'll suspend your phone.
right?
I'm like,
Yes.
that's not the way this is gonna work, ma'am. Like,
Mm-mm.
you're pushing him to do more defiant things.
Yep. And he already told you when he's bored, that's when he get in trouble. Let that
Yep.
man.
She don't know
You
how to
can't
talk
treat
herself,
right, and you can't treat him like he's your child.
and that's
This
what she's
is
going wrong.
yeah, exactly. Like she treats him at girl,
And he
that's why I
like,
just don't see
"What's
it.
the problem?" And she, "I'm good." And he was like, "That's your problem. You keep saying you good, but you don't. You're not good. So I'm asking you what's good." And we know we could do the, "Nah, I'm all right." And we know good and hell well we not all right.
That's
But
true.
at some point, ma'am, if you talking about coming out of your own mouth communication, then you maybe need to communicate. And you might need to change the tone in which you communicate. And then maybe he can receive it better. And I feel
Mhm.
like they both equally got some things they need to discuss. And I feel like if that's the way that you felt, y'all probably shouldn't even had inner relations at all
That's true.
before that happened.
That is, I agree. I
Because he
agree with you
showed his whole
100%.
behind leaving.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Maybe they should have put in, this is how I feel. I feel like they had those. You remember when you're teenagers and you have your little boyfriend and you on the phone with him at night, or you on the phone with him, you
Mm,
giggling. I feel that's the type of relationship they had, because again, he's in a stage of arrested development right now.
yep, yep.
And so I feel like that's the conversation, that those type of conversations, and it made her feel all giddy and young again. And it's like that doesn't translate outside of prison, because y'all were kind of pretty much in a box. It wasn't nothing he could do. He can call you collect, and you get
Mm-hmm.
on the phone and y'all talk about not serious stuff. And so they never did. And so now, because he even mentioned, he was like, she won't even look at me when we're speaking.
Yeah,
Um,
that's annoying.
very. And so I know that, what were, like you said, when y'all were talking on the phone when he was in prison, what were you talking about? What made you say, I want to marry her, and you said, I want to marry him? Because right now, y'all don't even look too good. Like, you
Mm-mm.
seem like you're annoyed. You don't want him there. If you wanted to be with someone in prison and you really don't want to be, maybe you should have got someone that's doing life. If that's you know what I'm saying?
No chance of ever coming out.
And you will
Maybe
be
that works
happy.
better for you.
Right. So we shall see how this works out.
Yeah, it's not. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm calling it. We gonna call it. This relationship is DOA. Okay. Yeah. So we shall see next week coming up what's gonna happen. Well, not next week, actually tonight. Don't forget it's Friday. Time flies. So we'll be back discussing what happens next on Love After Lockup. Again, you guys give us your thoughts about what you feel and how you feel this whole situation is happening with all of these couples, and let us know who your favorites are and what you think they are gonna, I guess, if they're gonna succeed or not. And we'll just have to see, I guess.
Hmm. We'll see.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. Bye
Thanks,
bye.
everybody. See you later. Bye.